Yeah, I'll be down in a bit. Oh, by the way, I've got a 9 AM teleconference call tomorrow morning, so you're going to have to like walk the dog and stuff. I've set my alarm earlier than usual, 8:55. Word to your mother, my name's Steve, this channel is Rags to Riches. Thanks for tuning in, it's appreciated as always. Today I'm bringing you a couple of first impressions of some brand new fragrances from Rosa Salas, and one of them's not a clone, so treat yourselves. So for anybody that doesn't know, Rosa Salas is predominantly a clone house, but they have started releasing original creations. I reviewed one in quite a few months ago now called Jardin d'Amour. I think that was their first original creation, and it's a really unique fragrance actually, so it might be worth kind of getting a sample of that if you haven't tried already. I've reviewed quite a few of their fragrances in the past. They have sent me these ones for free, so don't shoot me. If you think that makes me a shill, then I'm sorry. I've not always been sort of really complimentary about their fragrances actually. I did a video recently with Tony from the channel Fragdicted, and we did first impressions of loads of fragrances, and quite a few of those I said that I personally wouldn't buy because they're not sort of my cup of tea. So hopefully you still think I'm, you know, not full of shit and this is a genuine, honest review. It is, but obviously if you believe me or not is another thing. Now's probably not the best time to say that I do have a discount code in the link, the description below. So it's if you use Frag to Riches, you'll get 10% off at Rosa Salas. But yeah, I'm not a shill, honest, I promise. So discount codes and whether I'm a shill or not, all that aside, let's get on to these first impressions now. Those of you that don't know, Rosa Salas do come in some really good packaging. So you get the round cylindrical box, which is really nice, and inside there's some foam that keeps the bottle from shaking around. Now this fragrance I'm excited to kind of smell and give you my first impressions, but I must confess, this strictly isn't my first impression, this is a second impression. I've not done a full wearing of this, but when this arrived, I was so excited, I did spray it on my arm. I had to put one spray on my arm just to try it. So this is kind of like a second impression. But the reason why this is a fragrance that I couldn't resist smelling is because this is a clone of one of my favourite fragrances of all time, Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. Now, if you follow the channel, you know that I absolutely love this fragrance. It was in my top 10 fragrances for life, and spoiler alert, is going to be in an upcoming video, my 10 fragrances that are 10 out of 10. So it's going to be in that one as well. I love that fragrance, so I couldn't resist smelling this. So this fragrance is called Raiz Noir. This is 037 or 037. So the numbers always help you kind of identify and make sure you're getting the right one from Rosa Salas, so that's good. Now, as I say, I have sprayed this before, but I've not done a full wearing, so let's do it a second impression. Really good sprayer, that's really wide, kind of nice mist. Oh, man, I just love this DNA. Absolutely love this fragrance. Straight away, it's instantly recognisable as Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. There's no doubt about it. And I don't care if you think I'm shilling or not. Now, what I will say is it is, like, I detect the mandarin in the original Tom Ford Noir Extreme. A lot of people kind of don't, they don't really kind of pick up on that, but I do get that sort of mandarin and that sort of slightly juicy orange vibe, only a sort of touch at the top. This comes across to me as a bit sort of lighter, and that the sort of fresher elements of Noir Extreme are a bit more prominent, I would say, compared to the original. But I don't think that's a bad thing, because that very much makes this a more versatile version, because Noir Extreme is quite rich, it's quite creamy. I've said it a million and one times, I'll say it again. To me, I always pick up this sort of tobacco kind of accord, even though there's no tobacco in it. It's kind of, in the base, it's got this sort of rich kind of depth, sort of darkness to it that you kind of get from tobacco. It's a lovely accord, but there's no tobacco in it. Now, this, I would say, is a kind of lighter version, but that's not to say it's thinner, because from the time I wore this before, that one spray when this arrived, it was in the afternoon or sort of, yeah, it was kind of late at the end of the sort of day that I sprayed it, and I could still smell it the next day. So I know for a fact that this will perform. I know this performs really well. This is really quite strong, but this is definitely like a, just the fresher elements of Noir Extreme are a bit more prominent here, so it just makes it a little bit more versatile. This is like a Noir Extreme that you could wear in almost any season, which is great for me because that's a winner. It's really nice. Now, what I did pick up on as well when I did the that spray before, when this first arrived, is as it kind of went into the mids, I kind of got this cherry-like accord, which was really, really nice. Not really strong, and I'm not talking like a Tom Ford Lost Cherry type vibe. It's just a very kind of subtle, kind of almost cherry-like, almost a sort of fruity sweetness to it. But this is really good. Yeah, it's not much more to say really, but if you like Noir Extreme and you want a more versatile version, I'd say check this out. I think this is such a good fragrance, such a good DNA though, that's the thing. Noir Extreme is an absolute banger. So the next fragrance is actually an original creation. It's called 042 Lucayan, I think it's pronounced. So this is one of 6 original creations coming from Rosa Salas, and this is basically designed to be niche quality. So this is, I think all of the 6 fragrances are going to be kind of oud based, and this is the fresher of the 6. Vitor, knowing that I'm not an oud fan, so he's probably taken a risk sending me this one, but this is apparently the fresher of the 6. Now, I don't think this is released yet. So these, they've made batches and they've made samples, but due to the coronavirus, they've not been able to get enough ingredients to make like larger batches to go into kind of full production. So I've got a little 10ml kind of sample of this. So this is a genuine first impression. I've not smelt it yet, not taken the cap off. Now these are, as I say, going to be niche quality, and they are not cheap. So forget that, you know, this is. So these are going to be, I'm just going to check on my phone. These are going to retail for £70 for 50ml, and £25 for 10ml. So this 10ml sample was sort of 25 quid's worth. So yeah, let's hope it doesn't influence my opinion. Hey, anyway, so this is basically, as I say, they're going to be niche samples of niche kind of quality, and they're predominantly for kind of like oud lovers and people that want sort of stronger, richer, fuller fragrances. So anybody that knows, typically that's not me. I'm a basic bitch. I like my designer fragrances. I just kind of want to smell good. I'm not always up for smelling like a donkey's foreskin. So let's see what this is like. I'd say Vitor's pulled he's risking it with me, because I will be honest and say if I don't like it, and I'm not an oud fan, so fair play to him for having the balls to send this to me. So let's give this a go. Okay, I'm just going to give that a moment. Okay, I can really pick that up. Probably the 2 sprays I did there were too much, because these little sample sprays are actually pretty decent, to be honest. I do love, oh cool, I'm getting whiffs of it already. I'm going to hold off. I do love the bottles that they do at Rosa Salas, so they put their little signature on the glass. I really love that. Right, let's give this a go. What I will say straight away is the sillage that I got from kind of talking to you there smells different to smelling it up close. Like, I'd kind of already started prepping what I was going to say in my head when I got the sillage, and then when I smelled it up close, it smelled different. Okay, this is... Right, so there's definitely some fresher elements to this. I would say kind of bergamot. I don't think it's mandarin. There might be some sort of orangey citrus. I'm not sure. I've not looked at the notes, but I'd say there's certainly some kind of citrus in there. It smells bergamoty to me. And underneath that, I'm already getting some kind of woody kind of vibe. Now, I would definitely say that this is not oudy. This is not barnyardy. It doesn't smell like the aforementioned donkey foreskin. So we're already onto a winner. What I would say, there's a kind of, there's a really interesting balance between, I mean, obviously I'm only getting the top, kind of the top notes and some of the mids here, so this might kind of develop and kind of dry down to a full-on oud kind of bomb or be quite woody. But at the minute I'm getting a balance between like the sort of fresher citrus and this sort of dry wood, because I kind of want to say that it's quite a dry fragrance, but the citrusiness is sort of there and giving it a bit of a fresher uplift. So I wouldn't say it is dry, but I feel like it could get a lot drier as it goes into the base. It's a really kind of fresh yet woody fragrance. There's a sort of vetiver grassy vibe, but I wouldn't say it's particularly earthy or green. It doesn't come across as like an earthy or particularly green like patchouli or anything like that. It just comes across as like a fresher sort of woody vetiver kind of vibe. This is a very solid fragrance. I'm trying to think what I can kind of give you as a reference to kind of compare it to. It's really, really nice. It's a very solid, manly fragrance. It's really nice. The citrus is a real nice balance. The sort of juxtaposition between the citrus and the sort of drier woods. I sense, as I say, it will probably get drier, but but I think this is going to be quite versatile, so I think this will work particularly quite well in the sort of middle seasons, like your autumns and your fall and spring. Because it's, as I say, it's kind of woody, sort of vetiver type fragrance with some sort of fresher elements, so really solid fragrance, guys. I've not kind of mentioned the quality. It smells really good, and also I'll tell you one thing I noticed is it's not very oily, which is normally a telltale sign when you get with kind of clone houses, because they're derived a lot from the sort of oils. They can be quite oily on skin, but it doesn't, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but my skin's not particularly shiny at all there, which is a good sign. So again, that's probably also a testament to the quality. But it smells really kind of smooth and well blended as well. It doesn't smell like cheap. There's no kind of, sometimes I notice with clone houses, there's always this sort of cheaper, slightly choky kind of vibe going on, this sort of powderiness. It's kind of synthetic kind of powderiness, but I'm not really getting that. Damn, that's really good. Thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, give it a like. If you didn't, just don't do anything. Just click back. Yeah, and do please subscribe if you haven't already done so. My next video is going to be 10 designer fragrances that I personally think are 10 out of 10. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. I will see you for the next video. Take care. Much love.